Since my 40s, I've been collecting old people role models, both positive and negative. The folks I would and wouldn't like to end up like. Not that I have full control over how I end up. I've tried to figure out the difference between them, the ones who seem comfortable in their aging skin versus the ones who seem like they're unsatisfied, frustrated, still trying to prove themselves, filling the air with insistent words only they need to hear, which makes them difficult company. I don't want to need a restless, captive audience when I'm old. People have better things to do than keep me company while I talk to myself. Plenty of my negative old folk role models have company, family and friends who put up with them. Loneliness can be a problem for some old folks, yet others seem to do just fine alone. Loneliness doesn't necessarily cause bad aging. Maybe sometimes it's a consequence of it. Losing friends because you ended up being a pain to be around. My positive old folk role models have a youthful quality but don't seem stuck in the past. My negative old folk role models seem to have trouble letting go of their younger years, which, ironically, makes them seem older. Lots of us spend our lives playing roles, the postures necessary for getting ahead at work and getting by at home. We play student, employee, maybe boss. We play lover, partner, maybe parent. We spend our middle years cycling between roles, employee by day, partner by night, for years on end. Playing roles for decades, we can end up externally motivated, going through the motions of whatever's expected of us, with few chances to stretch out, do our own thing, or expand our thinking. We're just too busy cultivating and maintaining our public personas. During the shank of our lives, our autonomy, our ability to be alone and think for ourselves can shrink and even disappear. We can become domesticated to our roles, soldiering on, doing whatever's expected of us. And we can end up out of practice on exploring, following our noses, snooping around the way we did as little kids. As energetic toddlers, we were curious, exploring, finding our footing, asking big questions about anything and everything. Then we went to school and learned to play roles. Our schooling can make us feel like we're not qualified to ask big questions until we've mastered some vast, dry curriculum. Too much information dryly presented, and our curious minds can end up sorry we asked big questions in the first place. Now, if the shank of our lives is spent cultivating roles, we can end up like constant gardeners who compete in rose garden contests, trimming and weeding, primping and preening our showcase gardens, the roles we play. In retirement, we can end up hooked on our roles. If we were once a big deal at work, we talk like we still are. If we were once hot, we'll try to stay hot even though we're not. If we were once helicopter parents, we can end up badgering our grown children. If we had some grand but now outdated insight, we can keep sharing it as though it's revolutionary and new. All of that is a strain to have our gardens seen. It's a post-vocational hazard. Our roles are retired, but we can't stop playing them. We're left hungry for audience that will watch us pose and listen to us posture in our old roles, to be riveted by what we once were and insist we still are. It's a natural response, perfectly understandable, but taxing for family and friends. I've tried to avoid becoming like that. Since my 40s, I've set aside some fertile soil to explore on my own. A shady patch out of the public eye, seeded with my curiosity. It didn't need to be grand or interesting to anyone but me, and I didn't have to be the best at it, just engrossed in it. If anyone's interested in my back 40 gardening, fine, but it's not a requirement. It's just my private garden patch where I can stretch out, stretch my thinking, and lose myself in just doing. In my case, my side garden is pretty grand in scope, but of negligible consequence. I see myself as on a front porch of the universe, speculating about it and us in it. I work and play in big picture natural philosophy, but really I'm just taking notes for myself. When someone drops by to sit on the porch with me, they're welcome. We can speculate together. Still, I can go long stretches without that. I figure my kind of speculation is as good a use of free time as any. But I could have chosen any engrossment. I could have gotten into knitting or whittling. These days, being a golden ager is especially golden because now we can explore anything digitally, any question answered, any skill explored instantly for free with the press of a few keys. But only if we can revive the curiosity we had set aside to get by during our middle public years. Because there isn't always someone around eager to watch old folks cultivating their old showcase roles gardens. The young folks are off playing or playing their roles. Fellow retirees will watch us strain to maintain our old roles, but only if we return the favor and sit patiently watching them strain to maintain theirs. The solitude of a back 40 of curiosity gives us somewhere to put our loving curiosity when loved ones are elsewhere. I like how Nietzsche put it. He said we realize our maturity when we regain the seriousness we had as children at play.